So we're back to part 4 of chapter 8, forecasting. Just to finalize the demand management option, so to understand what's happening with the relationship between demand and capacity, right? So we learned about capacity management, chapter 4, and we'll also talk about capacity and theory of constraints, right? So question is, does the capacity change over time? Do companies variate capacity from one month to another? The capacity is the maximum amount that it can produce, right? So if I have a restaurant, that's the maximum amount of people I can serve, or maximum amount of recipes that I can make. So if I have, this many ovens and I have this many tables and this many people, my capacity is going to be a flat line, right? It doesn't change from one month to another, from one day to another. It can have more people or less people, but the maximum amount it can produce is going to be only one, right? Uh, in terms of demand, you can see this is the example that we had before. We have a variation in demand that's occurring every month, right? But my capacity is going to be a flat line. So let's say my capacity was about, 7,600 here, okay? We can see two things that are happening, right? So some moments in time, my demand is going to be higher, like here, here, and here, and here, than my capacity. Other moments in time, my demand is going to be lower than my capacity, right? Very rarely it's going to be exactly the same thing, right? So let's look at what's happening here, okay? So in this moment of time, what's happening? My demand is going to be lower than my capacity, right? So I'm going to be producing more than I actually need. So can I either just shut the equipment down, say I'm not going to produce anything, or what can I do? If I'm looking at, products, which is a 6-pack, 12 ounces bottles, I can produce inventory. I can produce items here and then put them on inventory. If I'm producing pizzas, I can't do that. Or the bags that are make to order bags, I can't do that, right? But if I'm doing cars or tables or computers or kind of manufacturing products, I can build inventory here or just reduce the number of people that I have in my plant. What's happening here? What are my options here? So here I'm actually underproducing, right? My demand is higher than I can fulfill. So imagine, the demand of toilet paper now. So hopefully you guys have toilet paper that will allow you to survive during this crisis. But the demand of toilet paper just exploded. People want to have 6 months, 1 year of toilet paper in their houses. Just exploded. The capacity of the plants is the same. So we don't have any material on the shelves anymore, right? And people are using now, I think, napkins and other ways. Anyway, so what is our option here, right? So one option here is try to use that inventory that we built during this time of the year, right? So that allows the company to have a capacity like here and go up and down and up and down and have some inventory to cover, right? If I'm talking about service company or make to order companies, I can't do that. So I have to use those strategies, that the demand management options that we just talked about, to kind of make the demand go closer to my capacity. And that's what restaurants do when, for example, they offer lunch and they offer dinner and lunch, but then the lunch menu is less expensive than the dinner menu. So they're trying to make it less expensive so they can open during lunchtime and have more people there and kind of make it more stable during the year. The same thing for hotels or airlines, right? They know that spring break, they know that summer you have big demands and the prices are going to be higher, but they know that some other months they don't have a demand, so the prices are going to be lower, right? So they're trying to make this green line closer to the red as much as they can, okay? Does that make sense?